Hey everybody, I'm doing my week 5 discussion video. I just wanted to talk about real quick about the methamphetamine abuse. I watched something on YouTube today, which I thought was pretty interesting regarding the methamphetamine epidemic here, especially in Fresno. And I thought it was interesting because to me, I see a lot of people as a nurse that have struggled with addiction, especially that addiction, methamphetamine here in Fresno. So I think it would be interesting to a lot of nurses, especially in this area, because we see it really often. And the target group for this speech I would do would be, my colleagues at work, especially since we're psych nurses. So what I found interesting about it was that a lot of us just assume that, these people are tweakers that are just strung out on drugs. They don't have, they don't care about anything. That's all they do. Then these people are pretty much hopeless. Typically, they're homeless. They've burned all their bridges with their family. They wander the streets. They go from one area to the next. Typically, they're on some type of government assistance. So when they get that money, they go out and they purchase drugs with it. They get high for a week or two. They come in on a hold, wandering the streets, talking to themselves, everything else. And I thought, okay, that seems to be what we see. But the question is, I see these people over and over and over and over and over. The same people just continue to do the same thing. So I want to know why. So I Googled, why do people do meth? What's so awesome about methamphetamine? Like, why does everyone continue to do it? And it's destroying their body. I mean, I see them when they come down from their high and it's horrible. So I'm like, why would they do it? So basically, one guy who was addicted to it for a long time, he pretty much explained it like this. He said, having sex with another person is like 400 dopamine rating or whatever. Doing cocaine is like 800, or crack is like 800 on your dopamine scale of, intensity, or however they rated it, as far as like the molecules of dopamine being released in your system, the levels. Intercourse is like 400, which is a euphoric sensation, obviously, and then 800 would be crack, cocaine, and cocaine. And he said methamphetamine is like 1,400. So basically, when they do that drug, they get put into a state of euphoria that is more powerful than anything else. And so the guy said it was an amazing experience for him. He did it a lot, and he was really into it, and then realized that it turned him into a monster. He started losing all his friends. He was spending all his time and money on methamphetamine and neglecting himself. His body would have sores and pimples and acne and things like that. He wouldn't sleep for 8 days at a time. He started developing psychosis because of lack of sleep. He said he would see people across the street climbing in trees and stuff that weren't there. And he figured any minute he would just freak out and start running down the street screaming, which is typically why we find these people on the street and they come to us as nurses. So to me, I didn't realize that. I thought people were just trying to get high. I didn't realize how powerful it was and how euphoric it was. The guy said that basically once you do meth, everything else in life seems like it's not as good. Even if you stop doing meth and become clean, everything else is just not as good as meth, so it's really hard to give up. So now I feel a little bit more compassion for my clients, knowing that, that's how it really is, and it just changes things. So maybe if you experience somebody that's got that problem, you'll have a little bit more empathy for them. Anyhow, that's my video. Thanks.